It's the 2K Sports pregame show.
Hello, basketball fans. I'm Ernie Johnson, welcoming you to 2K Sports. I'm here with Kenny the Jet Smith and Shaquille O'Neal. Tonight, it'll be the Detroit Pistons going up against the Minnesota Timberwolves at Target Center. Minnesota's been playing with a lot of focus. They've built up quite a head of steam here early in the season. Tonight, we'll see if they can maintain.
Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
The crowd is assembled here at the Target Center in Minneapolis, looking for the Timberwolves to have a victory here on their home. And before we...
Well, guys, Stan Van Gundy was the head coach in Miami, Orlando, and now Detroit. He's promised his wife that this is the last stop. He said, I wanted one more shot at it. I've got a great owner, and I should be able to get it turned around.
And DA, it's obvious that Stan has a real love for the game. Here's hoping he turns that storied franchise around. And Chris, it must be fun for you watching two teams who look for a lot of their offense in the low block.
I mean, there's a real art to being on that low block. If you think about it, you can facilitate just like a point guard. All you have to do is just be dominant down there. When you do that, you'll cause a double team. Your height, your position, where you're on the floor, you can see over other players, and you can find that open man. It's like playing the point guard, just from a different position.
So it's physical, but there is a lot of nuance to it as well, correct?
Oh, yeah, it's definitely physical, much more physical than being out top of that front of the key. But if you can handle it correctly, that means you have more space, you can be more efficient, use less dribbles, and also now with the way that players play and their skill set, they space the floor so much, so it's harder for a player to get to you and help. And if a player does commit to you with that help, that means you can find an open man and make the defense pay.
And a look at the starters for the Pistons.
Oh, see that?
You don't want to forget about the athleticism of Butler. Just a sick slammer of the basketball. You can't allow him to get to that launching pad.
That was a terrific replay brought to you by Under Armour. Another Unleash Chaos moment. And stolen by Butler. Here's Gibson, and it's Gibson finishing it off.
And you can see that Butler is the total package. Solid at recognizing when one of his guys is open.
On defense, Minnesota. It's a three-point game. Smith kicks to Bradley. Got a piece of it. Butler with the steal. To the paint. Dives for it. Out of bounds. Detroit takes possession. First quarter of play with about a minute and a half gone. Poked away. Jones, the pass to Towns.
And guys got careless with the ball there, and the turnover leads to the big stuff.
Once he came up right with the steal, he went straight on the attack.
And how about the explosiveness he shows, going from the offensive to the defensive end in a blink.
Bradley against Butler. Bradley can't get it to go. Minnesota with the ball. Good momentum, 8 straight points. Here's Lure. He had a 12-point outing in their last game against the Pacers in Indianapolis.
Oh, and don't forget about the heavy lifting he did on the glass all evening. He controlled the game in a number of ways. Just an unbelievable effort on the glass tonight.
And that one, good. 6 points for Taj Gibson.
And not hard to see why they are giving up points on this run. Just too many good looks from in close.
Jones drives in. Oh, and the dunk by Jones.
And how about a little bit of showmanship there as he increases the lead?
Oh, I like that. That's got to be, though, a tough pill for the defense to swallow.
Oh, that was sweet, and that's what makes him so dangerous. Not only can he set up others, but he can also be a big-time finisher.
go. Fast break. Wiggins has got it. And Jones gets it to go in on the assist by Wiggins. Jones has got his second bucket of the game to go. Pistons trail by 11. And now the first timeout called here for Detroit. They defeated Indiana in their last game.
Executed on the road, stayed focused, stay consistent with who you are as a team.
Whether life or sports, that's all you can do. Stay committed to your brand of basketball and let the chips fall where they may.
Yeah, and the amount of points they've given up here in the paint, that's what they got to talk about.
Ooh, this is ugly. No question about it. And you wonder if these matchups aren't favoring them right now.
Quick look now at the best free throw shooting team. The Timberwolves second.
You know, it's really a team-wide talent. You want to foul to stop layups, but against them, you're not saving much. They'll make you pay time and again.
Jones against Smith. Dishes it to Harris. Over Wiggins. And the basket by Harris. Harris has got his first bucket of the night.
Oh, what a gorgeous looking jumper from Harris. He has put a ton of work into his shooting in the offseason since he came into the league.
Here's Towns. It's hauled in by Harris.
Those are chances almost always you can rely on him to get you 2 points, but the D just enough to keep him out of rhythm.
When the break is on, Smith fills the lane perfectly. And you know he loves getting it out in the open floor.
And with Tobias Harris, he's a player who bounced around more than you would think in the early part of his career. C-Webb, he was traded twice in his first 5 years in the league, which is odd given how he's been growing and developing as a player.
Well, yeah, trades aren't necessarily about the team not being happy with you. It's about finding the right spot. So he had the right work ethic, so you knew Harris was going to improve, and you also knew he was going to be around. Coaches love Harris's hard-working ability, so the future's bright for this kid.
Pass to Bradley. Feeds it to Harris. The Pistons working the ball around now. Outside Bradley. Lock at 6. Unloads from 13. And that one drops.
Oh, and that's where Bradley's 6'7" wingspan can help. A little extra reach to get it over the D.
The pass to Towns. To the paint. Here's Gibson. And it's Gibson finishing it off.
And nobody, guys, among the defenders stepping up to challenge him on that drive to the 10.
And Greg, he says, thank you very much, and sails in for the flush.
But it's surprising, Kev, to see so little urgency on the defensive side, especially with them losing this game right now.
Now the feed to Towns. Butler in the corner. Good, and the assist goes to Towns. And that's now 7 points for Jimmy Butler.
They've wasted no time settling into their offense.
Harris a screen on Jones. Smith kicks to Harris. And the Pistons getting another bucket right there.
Whether it's inside or outside, Harris remains steady and ready to shoot the ball. He definitely has the trust of his teammates and coach.
Kicks it to Towns. And a lot of contact on that one, so he'll shoot 2 here. Andre Drummond picks one up. Well, Towns does so many things on the floor, already an elite post scorer. But, Greg, one area that he has struggled with at times is his defense against other bigs.
And I think he'll continue to improve in that area. What happens with young guys, though, is oftentimes you're improved how good I am mode when you're young, and you lose sight of some of the things that help you win games. And I think that's one reason why he had one of the worst defensive RPMs in the entire league. But young bigs tend to take a bit longer to develop into great defenders, and I expect he will follow in that line.
Brave in the paint, Bradley gets it done.
Minnesota leading by 8. Jones kicks to Towns. Out of bounds. Detroit takes possession. And just who is providing all the playmaking here tonight? Let's look at the breakdown between the front and back court for the Timberwolves.
And we see the bigs really creating shots for everybody offensively. That's been a key factor here for them. Playing inside out, collapsing the defense, and creating open look.
Smith kicks to Harris. That's tipped, and it goes out of bounds. That one off Harris.
All right, a chance to see some stats for Smith. His last 10 games, he's averaging 8 points, 7 assists, and 3 rebounds. And guys, he's making winning plays. It's as simple as that. Not a star player per se, but he makes his presence felt.
Well, yeah, lately he's been overachieving a little bit. Hopefully this is a sign of greater things to come.
Pistons trail by 8, and here comes Harris leading the fast break. Off target from the wing. Here's Butler. At balls, nice feed that time from Wiggins. Butler's got 9.
Starting to surge here, and we're only in the first quarter.
And it's happening at both ends, trying to end this thing before it begins.
Time called here. The Pistons decide to talk it over. Well, you look around the NBA, and there are some incredible athletes. Chris, in your opinion, which players in the league right now are the most physically imposing when you see them in action?
3 people come to mind. First, DeAndre Jordan, just his size and stature, and then when you see him run like a little fella and jump with the best of them, it is so intimidating seeing him out there on that court. LeBron, I mean, you still might say he has the best basketball body ever, being that 6'7", 6'8" frame, whatever he goes by, with a bunch of muscle behind it, being able to use his quickness and strength to get to the post, you just have to love it. And then Antetokounmpo, one of the most unique players we've seen with his length, his size, Mr. Stretch Armstrong, but he gets it done on both ends of the floor, and I just think his unique body style and his skill set makes him fun to watch as well.
Jackson, he's checked in for Ish Smith.
And here we have an opportunity to check out Karl Anthony Towns.
Just an incredible month of basketball. First in rebounding, second in field goal percentage, and don't forget top 5 in the league in points per game. He's a premier offensive threat night in and night out.
And just going back real quick to the fact that he's tops in the league in rebounds, what a tremendous feat. What a monster he is in the paint.
Oh, he's shooting a fantastic mark from the field to begin this one.
Inside. Good D by Drummond.
That is some tough defense there against one of the better finishers in our game.
Jackson kicks to Drummond. Pass to Lure. Knocked away. Towns with the steal. Wiggins against Harris. Here's Towns. Buries it down low. Towns has got his second bucket tonight.
Defensively, giving up far too many open rhythm looks.
Down low, got a piece of it, and out of bounds as the Timberwolves gain possession. Here we are in November. Let's see how things are shaking out in the West early in the season. Take a look at the Timberwolves. They hold the first place spot in the conference just right where they want to be. They've got momentum. And of course, Portland. They're just sitting one spot down right on their heels.
And I think for Minnesota, you know, this happens every year. A team outperforms expectations early. You wonder, is this just an anomaly or is this something they can sustain?
Well, we're seeing the chemistry right now. Whatever this team may lack in readiness or talent, they make up for it by playing for each other.
And if that doesn't get them fired up, guys, nothing will.
Greg, just what the doctor ordered, huh? Some high-flying annex to narrow the deficit.
Well, also a miscommunication on defense. No one rotates over. See ya.
In the corner, it's Wiggins. Jones from outside. At balls, nice feed that time from Wiggins. Wiggins has got 4 assists in the game. Pistons trail by 11. And here is Harris. His scoring has been there on a regular basis. He's averaging more than 14 points a game. And Jackson gets it to go.
And the release Jackson has, just a confident shooter who does a great job at squaring up from there.
Jones kicks to Towns. The Timberwolves working the ball around now. Gibson dishes to Wiggins. The kick outside to Butler. A three-pointer, no good. Jackson with it. He's coming off a 13-point game against Indiana. Drummond up top, defended by Butler. And it's going to be out of bounds. The Pistons will retain possession. And take a look at this. Every team loves to have guys like these. Big men who can pass like guards. These are their assist totals on the season. Second, Karl Anthony Towns. The fourth spot held by Taj Gibson.
And these are some of the most complete players in our league. I mean, they're not just traditional score and rebound big men. They can beat you with their passing as well.
And that court awareness is what makes them such valuable players. It makes defenses that much more unwilling to double them, given how great they are at distributing the rock.
Look, that rebound was up for grabs to get, but his length really was the determining factor in him coming away with it.
That's good from Johnson on the assist by Jackson.
And at 6'7", Johnson has the height to bang down low. He's terrific at getting quality shots in the post.
Now the dish to Towns. He kicks it to Jang. There's Galloway, guarded by Crawford. The Pistons rebound. Outside Jackson. Here is Tolliver. Johnson up top. Here's Galloway. Another three for Detroit.
How about the passing? They are moving the ball without any thought, without any individual agenda.
You so often hear about how much Detroit Pistons fans pride themselves on the defense of this team. It's a part of the franchise's identity. All the fans in Detroit definitely love their defense.
And here's Brooks from outside. Good, and the assist goes to Towns. Towns has got his third assist on the night.
Okay, we got a nice little back and forth going here.
And I love it, Greg. Both sides inflicting damage from the perimeter. We'll see how the defense is adjusted.
Offensive rebound. Good D by Johnson. Pistons trailed by 7. 1:11 left here in the opening quarter. Crawford with the steal. To the middle. For Minnesota, they have been perfect at the line so far, albeit just 2 for 2.
And they've had really good numbers all season from the free throw line.
First one falls for him. Minnesota making some changes. Mahimi's checked in for Karl Anthony Towns. And Shabazz Muhammad subbed in for Jimmy Butler. And Jang drops them both.
What an advantage for a big man to have, that smooth stroke at the line.
There's Galloway, guarded by Crawford. Galloway kicks to Tolliver. 51 seconds left to play in the first quarter. Pass to Johnson. Just 5 on the clock. There's Jackson with the 3. Minnesota with the rebound. Their last encounter was in Detroit, where they were able to handle the Pistons.
And in the last face-off against these guys, they enjoyed a huge advantage in free throw percentage.
He dishes it to Galloway. Drummond with a screen on Crawford. Here's Galloway. And again, unable to change momentum here. Now Mahimi, he's averaging around 5.5 points a game. Now here's Brooks. Jang, a screen. Dishes it to Muhammad. A three-pointer, no good. And after just 1 quarter of play, a double-digit differential on the scoreboard. Minnesota on top, up by 11. And we'll get it going after this from the Target Center. Welcome back, everyone. A lopsided first quarter in the books already as we start this second quarter. Timberwolves leading by 11, all fueled up and ready to go. Let's reset the lineups courtesy of Gatorade as the second quarter gets going. On the court for Minnesota, we've got Crawford. Gorgie Dang is out there with Muhammad. Then there's Ian Mahimi, and it's Brooks in at the point. Muhammad off the mark there with the three-point shot. Pistons trailed by 11. Here's Udrich. He had 10 points in the win against Indiana. And there's the foul. It'll go on Aaron Brooks. That's his first foul. Crawford with the steal.
He leaped into the lane as soon as that ball was thrown and came up with the steal. Excellent work on D there.
And it's Mahimi finishing it off.
And that's how you make a steal count. Turn it into a quick slam at the other end.
It was really a case, it looked like Greg Anthony right there, if I can say so. It was really a case of a great defensive play triggering some instant offense.
Oh, well, that's because it was terrific anticipation. Also, the quick hands, a lethal combination.
Back to Johnson. 6 on the shot clock. The shot from the low post is good.
Oh, look at the soft touch on the teardrop.
Timberwolves leading by 11. Feeds to Mahimi. And it's good. Assisting on the play was Brooks.
And some guys just have a nose for scoring, and this one couldn't have been any easier.
I mean, I don't know whether to say it's amazing or it's sad, but you're down double digits and you still allow an uncontested layup. Where is the pride? Where is your heart?
Passes it to Tolliver. Udrich dishes to Johnson. Puts it up from 17. Here's Drummond. That one's not going to go. And it's the Timberwolves taking it the other way. Second quarter of play with around 2 minutes gone so far. Nice ball movement by Minnesota. It's hauled in by Tolliver.
Not sure what the D was doing there. Clearly a breakdown. You can ill afford to give a guy like him that good a look.
And the rejection by Jang. Johnson, the pass to Udrich. That one drops for him. Udrich has got his first 2 points of the night.
And they keep hammering away at him inside, forcing the ball into the paint.
Well, many had high hopes for what Stanley Johnson could be in the NBA, but after a rough sophomore season, questions have been raised, C-Webb. The former 9th overall pick, the player of the year in high school in Los Angeles, terrific freshman year at Arizona. He saw a major regression in many areas of his game.
Well, look, the NBA is a different level, and when you come in as younger as Stanley came in, you're going to have to figure your way out. He's with a great organization, great coaches around. He should improve with hard work.
Now a timeout called by Detroit.
Now, that's a great timeout called by the coach there to try to calm his team down. They're turning the ball over way too much.
And let's take a look here at the numbers for Gorgie Dang. Over the last month, getting it done. He's averaging 11 points a game, 4 rebounds, and 2 assists. And guys, he's making winning plays. It's as simple as that. Not a star player per se, but he makes his presence felt.
Well, yeah, lately he's been overachieving a little bit. Hopefully this is a sign of greater things to come.
And it's out of bounds to the Pistons as Detroit retains possession. Now Udrich. Johnson outside. 5 on the clock. Played in with a nice touch off the glass. Johnson's got 6 points.
Even when the D is roughing Johnson up just a little bit, he still finishes the job in style. I love seeing him muscle through these challenges.
In the corner, it's Crawford. He feeds it to Brooks. From 10 feet out and too long on the shot. Pistons trailed by 11. And the foul called on Jamal Crawford. That's his first foul. Smith checked in for the Pistons. Tipped away. Crawford with the steal. Here's Brooks. Finished off the break. Brooks has got the lead up to 13 now for the Timberwolves.
Moving it around, 8 of their last 10 coming off assists.
Smith against Brooks. Tolliver kicks to Smith. Here is Tolliver. Still getting warmed up offensively. No buckets yet in the game for him. Now the pass to Muhammad. And it's Brooks in the corner. There's the feed to Muhammad. Shot clock at 6. Takes a 3. Brooks misses.
You had 1 3-pointer in the first, but still searching for that second.
Here's Johnson, and a foul called on the shot. Got him on the way up that time, so he'll shoot 2 right here. And part of analyzing a game can be offering forth critique of players or officials or organizations. Chris, how do you find that balance of candor and yet not being too critical, being too harsh?
Great question. The way I try to have an honest balance is to remember how I felt when it happened to me.
Interesting.
When you're a player, if someone comes with hard, credible evidence, I mean, it's true. You can't take anything personal. But when guys are just criticizing the same jump shot that you made last play, I'm not that guy. So, I try to keep a balance by being fair and honest, first of all, to the fans of that city and that state, and letting them know how great their team is, but also that maybe their team is playing lazy. Maybe look at this effort not out there by the floor. But also, in a blowout game, I also give the team that's losing by 30 just as much respect as I do the winning team, because those guys work just as hard. This is just a specific night they didn't play that well. So I just try to make every game as special as it is to me, from being a kid growing up to being able to play in the league, but then also just being fair. Benefit of the doubt first, but if you do 2 or 3 stupid things, then you're a stupid player that night. Just being honest, having fun. And I've gotten some calls from players, and I don't care. I'm not hard to find. I just try to have fun, be honest, and no hard feelings, man.
Wiggins dishes to Mahinmi. And it's Lure with the rebound. Lure's got 3 rebounds now in this one. Smith outside. Kicks it to Harris. Lure a screen on Gibson. Gibson with the steal. All alone, and it's Gibson finishing it off.
And he just dangles from the bucket after sending that one through.
And you can see which team has the swagger right now. Pistons trail by 12. And here's Smith. He's coming off a 13-point game against the Pacers in Indianapolis.
Yeah, but it wasn't all about himself. He also did a great job at creating for his teammates. So many assists tonight.
6 to shoot. Here's Johnson, and there's another one for the Pistons.
He played a very solid first quarter, and now he's taking it up a notch here in the second.
Pass to Mahinmi. Timberwolves passing it around. Jones kicks to Gibson. 6 for 6. He's yet to miss from the field.
That's the way to attack. Get it into the post and go to work.
The Pistons have gone 6 of 10 from the floor here in the second quarter. That one good for 2. 12 points for Avery Bradley.
It's his shooting that's kept them out of an even deeper hole.
Jones kicks to Mahinmi, and stolen by Harris. Wiggins against Bradley, and he could not get that one to go. Out of contact, and he'll go to the line for 2.
And that 6'3" Bradley is a plus defender thanks to his quickness and tenacity.
And Avery Bradley won the national high school title at Findlay Prep and was considered a top 5 prospect. Some had him even at number 1, and still after 1 season at Texas, he fell to the Celtics at 19 in that 2010 draft.
Karl Anthony Towns checked in for Minnesota. Jimmy Butler comes in for Shabazz Muhammad. Jackson against Butler. Ball's knocked loose. To the right side. Smith against Jones. Butler in the corner. A 3-pointer. Wiggins Bradley with some nice D. And Bradley, a great athlete. He won the dunk contest in high school. Terrific player, but he's not a big highlight player, it seems, in the NBA, Greg.
Yeah, you know, his strength and explosiveness more on display defensively, and that's been his meal ticket. He's added skill, though. He's turned the corner and has become a two-way threat.
Oh, inflicting some punishment with the two-hand flush.
They're going for the throat. Smith kicks to Bradley. Lets it fly from 18. In it goes for the 8th time in 10 tries.
And you know what? While Bradley is focused on shooting more threes and less two-point jumpers, I mean, when you're feeling it, you got to let it fly, guy.
Towns. Butler against Jackson. Towns kicks to Gibson. Good, and the assist goes to Towns. Towns has got his 4th assist in this one.
And look, he's been so dependable in this game, taking nothing but good shots.
There's the dish to Bradley. A three-pointer off the mark.
Very slack defending, playing with fire to leave him that open beyond the arc.
Oh, and here we go. Jackson, nobody back. No stopping him there. Jams it in as he's fouled. A chance now for a three-point play. It's on Jimmy Butler.
How about the muscle from Jackson on that play? Even with the contact, he knocked the bucket down easy.
Ooh! That's how you attack.
Attack the rim, baby.
Here's Jackson. He has 5. He kicks it to Lure. His second shot goes in, off to a good start, 2 for 2.
There you see why you want the ball in Jackson's hands as much as possible. He can clearly set the table.
And the dunk by Towns.
Really crisp, intelligent passing to make that basket possible.
Pistons trail by 10. Bradley kicks to Jackson. Drills it from outside. Jackson's got 6 points in the quarter.
He just needs some time to warm up. After a difficult first period, he has turned on the Jets in the second quarter.
Oh. Wow, and that sort of showmanship is just deflating right now to a team trying to get back into a game like this.
Ouch, Greg, that is definitely an emphasis jam. A big apostrophe or exclamation point, maybe even a question mark. And Detroit again with the bucket.
I mean, come on. Jackson is so effective from the mid-range area of the court. He sticks these shots all the time.
Left side, Gibson. And it's Gibson finishing it off.
He is a fantastic athlete for a power forward. Whatever he lacks in height, he makes up for with hops.
Detroit's gone 3 of 5 from beyond the arc so far tonight. Lure the screen. And it's out of bounds. They say it was last touched by Jackson. Let's take a moment to see the squads that have been the most dominant on the glass this season. The Pistons second.
You know, it's not necessarily a glamour stat, but make no mistake, their top-notch board work has been a huge key to their success.
Looking at who's out there now for the Pistons. Andre Drummond comes in for Harris. And Langston Galloway subbed in for Ish Smith. Butler from outside. Good, and the assist goes to Town. And now it's a 12-point Minnesota lead.
And Butler has the touch from deep. A skilled outside shooter who you can't let get comfortable from there. Huge hole in the defense that possession. He didn't waste any time cutting through it.
Towns at the elbow. Pass to Butler. Nice ball movement by Minnesota. Jones, the pass to Butler. And the dunk by Towns.
And Kevin, plays like that, really the reason they've got a nice lead right now. Just a great job on the glass.
And Greg, the jam and the follow gets their whole bench jumping. Look at them. They are really into it.
But that's all about going back to the fundamentals. Defensive rebounding, you got to have it, especially when you're getting waxed.
And that's what you give up when you don't fight over the screen.
A lot of times your defense is your offense is your defense. This is poor decision-making right here. You can't let them have that shot. Also might have been a lack of effort.
It's Bradley on the wing. Puts it up from 12. Rebound, Minnesota. They've led by as many as 14 points. Towns against Lure. Towns kicks to Butler. Back to Towns. Wiggins right side. Fires from deep. Knocks down the three ball. Wiggins has got a couple of three-pointers in the second for Minnesota.
Smart idea. Immediately shoots over the smaller defender before help can come.
And so it's Minnesota up by a dozen here at the end of the quarter. They've had active hands and have forced a lot of turnovers in this one. And a chance now to send it over to David Aldridge, standing by courtside. David.
Thanks, guys. Andrew, what do you like about the way the team's playing so far?
We're competitive right now. We're going after it. In our possession, we're going hard.
We'll see if that continues in the second half, Andrew. Thank you. Back to you, Kevin.
All right, thank you, David. And folks, don't go away. After the break, we'll see you right back here for the start of quarter number 3.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
And what a show being put on here for the home fans tonight. I'm Ernie Johnson, along with Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny the Jet Smith. Nobody had an answer for Taj Gibson in the first. He had 18 points, 2 rebounds, and 2 assists. And Shaq, what do you think about what we saw from Minnesota?
Well, Kenny should appreciate this. I love the ball movement. They were in sync as a unit, and their assist numbers were impressive. Anytime you get 5 players working together like that instead of one guy doing it alone, it's always going to be a boost. That's the primary reason they're in control of the game.
Kenny, what'd you think about Detroit?
I felt they had a lack of intensity defensively.
So that'll do it for now as we send you courtside with
And as we begin the second half, first half wasn't even close, guys, and we'll see if there is a comeback on our hands or more of the same as we get the third quarter started. One guy. Here's Jones. On the floor for Detroit. Smith and Bradley are together in the backcourt. Lure and Drummond together down low. And it's Harris in at the 3 slot. They double him with Drummond. Jones for 3. The shot, no good. The Pistons go the other way with it. Bradley kicks to Smith. And it's good, 2 points. Smith's got the first points to start out the third quarter for the Pistons.
The cleverness of Smith showing itself once again. Terrific at getting into the heart of the D and then cashing in.
Jones for 3. A putback. Great positioning on the putback. And the Timberwolves lead by 12.
And they're forcing the ball inside, and it's working like a charm.
Detroit's gotten a success rate of just over 50% from three-point tonight. 4 of 7 shooting. Poked away. Smith kicks to Drummond. Wiggins outside. Bank shot, no good.
And that's the shot you want to create. They just can't get it to fall.
Well, that just shows you can do everything right sometimes, but still get the wrong result.
Here's the break. Shot's good by Butler.
And everyone knows Butler is a lockdown defender, but also terrific at coming up with steals.
And Stan Van Gundy, known for being one of the more demanding coaches when it comes to defense. He doesn't care who you are. If you're not giving it your all on the defensive end, you're going to find yourself on the bench.
Well, he's clear with what he wants and what he expects, and, you know, when you step on the floor.
Left side, Gibson. Harris on the double team. Gibson dishes to Wiggins. Butler on the wing, guarded by Bradley. Here's Towns, stolen by Lure. Bradley against Jones, out to Harris. He gets it to fall. That makes it just a single-digit lead. Harris has got 9.
Oh, they can't miss their third make in a row to begin the half.
Here's Towns, and the dunk by Towns.
And when he gets his points within the flow of the offense, that efficiency has helped them build this lead.
Smith against Jones. Drummond a screen. It's stolen by Jones. Outside Butler from past the arc. Rebound Andre Drummond. Drummond's got his 4th rebound with that last one here tonight. Bradley, no one around him. Quick shot there, and it's off target.
That's their first shot of the half that hasn't found a mark. It's been a good start.
And at the offensive end, he's done about as much as they could have hoped for today.
Now a timeout called by Detroit. Well, we see so many of these players, Chris, in the NBA reach notoriety very early in their careers, sometimes even while they're still in high school. What was it like growing up as a star athlete and all the hype that surrounds it? You were the #1 high school player in the country coming out.
Well, you have to stay focused. You know, I didn't grow up in this era of social media and everything. I can only imagine that pressure now, but really you have to stay focused. You have to realize that you're just in the middle of your goal. You're not a celebrity or a star yet, no matter how good you are on that level. Everybody in the NBA has been the best player on their team at some point in time, so things are going to even it out. You have to stay focused, stay goal-oriented in school and in sports, and hopefully the best things will happen. And if you're lucky, like I was, you have some real good people around you, whether family or friends.
Yeah, good mentors, right? That's got to be important.
Yeah, you definitely got to have good mentors, whether it's coaches that can encourage you to spend all your time on the court, or whether it's friends and family that encourage you to stay focused and not kind of get caught up with others that may not have a focus or a love or a passion right now. So you just really need good people. It takes a village, and for guys that are feeling so much fame and getting so many accolades at such a young age, it's hard to handle as an adult. Just imagine trying to handle that as a kid. So you definitely need a lot of good people around you in your corner to help you succeed in life.
Minnesota making a switch here. Zhang's checked in. The shot off that time. Good D by Drummond. Bradley drives in, and he finishes it off with a one-handed jam.
With his athleticism, nice to see Bradley driving to the rim.
Jones kicks to Towns. He dishes it to Zhang. Back to Towns. Gets it to fall, and now he's 10 of 15 on the game.
Continuing to push the action and build this lead.
And you see he's not worried about what's on the scoreboard. He just wants to go ham each possession.
Puts it up from 12. Harris misses. Minnesota leading by 13. Wiggins passes to Zhang. Can't hit from in close. Detroit's gone 5 of 8 from three-point land. 15 points and a deep ball for them tonight. A three from Bradley. Bradley with another miss. Timberwolves have gone 5 of 12 from the field since the third quarter got underway. The shot by Butler, nobody around. At balls, nice feed that time from Wiggins. Wiggins has got 6 assists here tonight. They've been looking out of sync offensively.
Yeah, their offense has ground to a standstill.
Tolliver kicks to Bradley. Jones against Smith. The Pistons working the ball around now. Just 3 to shoot. Here's Harris. The 17-footer goes down. Harris has got 5 points now this quarter.
Oh, you love the use of the mid-range jumper from Harris. Just takes his time and makes sure he's in rhythm before releasing the shot.
Oh, and the jam by Butler.
Those passes into the paint have to be precise, just like that one.
Pistons trail by 16. Outside Bradley. Fires for 3, and he's good on the 3 ball. Bradley's got 22.
Well, this is what Smith does best, keeping his eyes moving to set up the open man.
And finished off by Zhang.
And how about breaking out the Statue of Liberty on that dunk?
A nice way to pad that lead a little more. You're right. Smith kicks to Tolliver. To the inside. Here's Bradley, and he makes the bucket, drew contact, and gets the whistle, too.
A little bit of physicality from Bradley, taking the knock, fighting through it to get the bucket, plus the and one chance.
Looking at who's out there now for the Timberwolves. Mahimi's checked in for Karl Anthony Towns. Shabazz Muhammad comes in for Andrew Wiggins. Jamal Crawford, he's checked in for Jimmy Butler. And Brooks subbed in for Jones.
That's their 3rd straight make off an assist.
Pistons trail by 14. And Udrich kicks to Bradley. Offensive rebound. And Drummond is right there.
Now, the energy Drummond has on the glass, it's really ridiculous. He's a spark plug, a real spark plug.
In the corner, it's Zhang. Dishes to Mahimi. In the corner, it's Crawford. Rebounded by the Pistons. Drummond's got his 8th rebound here tonight. Knocked loose for 3, Udrih. With the second effort, count that one. And the Timberwolves lead has been cut down now to just 10 points with that basket from Andre Drummond. Brooks dishes to Mahinmi. Back to Brooks. Tries it from 19. Jang, no luck.
No doubt it's been a bit of a struggle for him here in this quarter in terms of scoring.
And Greg, you wouldn't expect it from a Coach Thibodeau team, but defense was an issue for the Timberwolves last year.
And the Wolves brought in Butler to help with offense, but more importantly, his defense. And Butler, familiar with what Thibs likes to do on both ends of the floor, has the leadership the team needs, particularly on the defensive end. And guys, that's his game. I mean, battling in the paint and cashing in on those second chance opportunities.
And Greg, cashing in hard. I mean, man, oh man, he puts an exclamation point on that dunk.
Yes. But guys, the defense knows he has this ability, correct? Yet no one thinks to put a body on him? Incredible.
And Drummond throws it down.
Oh, they matched the slam at one end with an even bigger one at the other.
Ooh, maybe we'll get another one on this trip.
Oh, taking it to the rack with power.
Hammering down the two-hand slam. Pistons trail by 10. Udrih, the pass to Drummond. That's good. And it's Udrih with the assist that time. That's 10 points for Drummond.
And Drummond is so ridiculously strong inside, just simply overpowering the D in the post.
And finished off by Jang.
Oh, terrific pass work. That shot's a lot easier after an assist like that.
Bradley kicks to Udrih. Tolliver dishes to Johnson. And that's out of bounds. Detroit will retain possession. And a look now at the various locations of the shots taken so far for Bradley.
Well, that is what it looks like when you are in the zone. He's been very efficient with his scoring and is leading the way for his team on offense. With every make, you can see the confidence growing. And I don't think he'll slow down anytime soon.
4 on the clock. Here's Johnson, and it's good. He planted his feet on the pick and shielded the defender off.
Oh, you really like how determined Drummond is. Always willing to sacrifice his body to open up some space for guys.
Crawford passes to Gibson, and it's Gibson finishing it off.
Oh, he caught him in stride with the lead pass. Now that was time.
Now Udrih. Ways to get back into it, but they've got some time.
The tendency can be to really rush or push the game. They need to avoid that.
There's a good screen. And it's out of bounds. Last touch by Jones. All right, we've got a bit of a break now, so here's a look at the league's best defenses. The Pistons second. In fourth, the Timberwolves.
And we're getting to watch two of the NBA's great defensive teams. I mean, very difficult to score as they both contest every shot.
Looking at who's out there now for the Pistons. Lewis checked in for Stanley Johnson, and it's Jackson in for Udrih.
Love seeing the offense run through the big man. Drummond with great vision and terrific feet.
Timberwolves leading by 8. Jones dishes to Muhammad. Out of bounds, Detroit takes possession.
And a moment here to check out the numbers for Avery Bradley. Getting around 12 points a game, 5 rebounds, and 3 assists. With him, you get so much, but his ability to lead the way with his scoring, probably his best attribute.
An offensive juggernaut. I mean, he can just beat you in so many ways. You got to give it up for him.
And Gorgui Dieng is going to pick up the foul. That is his first foul of the game. Jackson in the corner. That's good. Basket number 5 on a 5-for-8 night shooting.
Well, even when Jackson gets bodied on the drive, he finishes the job. What persistence from the point guard.
Jones from outside. Here's Gibson, and it's sent back by Drummond. And he gets it back. Shot's good by Gibson.
Just creating havoc for the opponents the last few games.
He has been unguardable. No one has been able to figure him out recently.
And he makes that one. Drummond's got 12 points in the game.
And not being as aggressive from the three-point line anymore. They had a lot more attempts in that first half.
Crawford kicks to Muhammad. Zhang tips it back in. Zhang's got 8 points in the quarter.
Nice tip in there. I mean, he's got like a sixth sense in terms of where the miss is going to go. That is really a talent.
Now let's go to the sideline and catch up with our Hall of Famer, David Aldridge.
Well, Kevin, Karl Anthony Towns was voted by GMs last season as the player they most want to build a franchise around. But he is not resting on his laurels. He said, "I work hard on my game. I want to be the strongest player, the most intelligent player, and the most skilled player on the court at all times." Kevin?
Thanks, David. That work ethic will definitely help Towns get better. He's already a dynamite player. Here's Muhammad. Tipped away. And so it looks like the Timberwolves will retain possession here.
And a quick check of the stats for Drummond. Unbelievable play for him over the last month. Second in rebounding, 7th in steals, and with a top 20 ranking in field goal percentage, you put the ball in his hands, and he converts at a remarkable rate.
And again, look what he's done so far this season. Wiping the boards clean, ranking 2nd in the league in rebounds. Outstanding effort. Jackson against Jones, and the foul called on Tyus Jones. That is his first foul of the game. Detroit making a switch here. Harris is checked in. They get a hand on it. 50 seconds left in the third. Trying his luck deep. Lure can't hit. Timberwolves leading by 9. Crawford outside. Back to Muhammad. Crawford outside. Lock at 6. Three-pointer. Rebounded by Jackson. Detroit's gone a less than productive 2 of 6 from three-point land in the second half. Here's Jones. 7 points in the game. Zhang, a screen. Feeds to Muhammad. For the 3. A three-pointer is right on target. Muhammad's got himself on the board with 3 there. And so it's Minnesota going into the break with a 10-point lead. They're pounding the ball inside, and that's where they've gotten their best production tonight. Back to the action after this word. And now we take a listen into the recent huddle from Tom Thibodeau.
Defensively, we got to do a better job. You got to shut the paint down. You got to challenge shots, and you got to finish.
Tom Thibodeau wanted to see some passion out there on defense as well as conversions on the other end.
Yeah, I mean, they're making some plays out there overall, but stopping shots and making shots, essential areas where he feels they have to improve.
Welcome back. Fourth quarter action starting up. 2K Sports, happy to have you with us. Wiggins at small forward with Gibson at the 4. Crawford out there with Jones. And it's Towns in at the center position. So that's the Timberwolves 5. Galloway kicks to Jackson. Here's Lure. Off target with his 3. Timberwolves leading by 10. Gibson passes to Wiggins. And they double up Butler to the inside. That's good from Crawford on the assist by Butler. Butler's got his 5th assist in this one.
It's the moving target with the lead pass. He made it look so easy.
They get a hand on it, and it goes out of bounds. That one off Gibson. And stolen by Wiggins. Inside. Here's Towns. Crawford outside. Timberwolves passing it around. Gibson dishes to Towns. And the dunk by Towns.
And that's how you make a steal count. Turn it into a quick slam at the other end.
It was really a case, it looked like Greg Anthony right there, if I can say so. It was really a case of a great defensive play triggering some instant offense.
Oh, well, that's because it was terrific anticipation. Also, the quick hands, a lethal combination.
Crawford outside. They double him with Drummond. And he's fouled pretty hard on that shot, but he's got the chance to pick up the points at the line. Andre Drummond picks one up.
Oh, the officials are all over that one.
When I watch Taj Gibson, I'm always impressed with his hustle and his quick feet. I mean, he knows what to do, he knows what move he wants to execute, and he executes very fast. Often defenders can't set up on him before he's going to work.
And with Gibson, the quickness he has at his position is a big benefit for him. Great for when he faces up, too.
Yeah, Kevin, he has a great one-bounce move when he's facing up in the paint or elbow. He also does a great job to flash open the space and get a shot up fast.
Lure can't hit. Wiggins kicks to Butler. Kicks it out to Wiggins. The shot's good on the assist by Butler. And the Timberwolves lead by 19.
And it's been about that execution offensively. I mean, they have been superb.
Yeah, and it's been a team game, a number of contributions. Guys staying focused. That's why the league continues to grow.
Harris inside, covered by Wiggins. The offensive rebound, and the basket by Harris.
But you got to respect how much Harris hustles out there. He earns every rebound he gets.
Passes to Towns. Towns is doubled. Stolen by Lure. They've been struggling here on offense.
Yeah, a bit of a dry spell for sure.
And here we go. Fast break. Crawford's got it. Banked in off the glass. Towns has got 10 points in just the second half.
The assist totals, Kevin, just continue to grow. They're way ahead in that category. Ball movement has been flawless.
And Lure wide open. He shoots it. Buries the long-range jumper.
But don't forget, he had a 3 in the first half. He can really hurt you from out there.
Outside Butler. He feeds it to Towns. Towns is doubled. Gibson passes to Wiggins. Great pass to set up the lay-in.
And it just seems that every pass they make is leading to a score. Just great ball movement.
The pass to Harris. Drummond a screen. And the basket by Harris. Harris has got 4 points in the quarter.
Oh, that's the goal every trip. Get the good look from close range.
Gibson dishes to Wiggins. Basket counts.
And defensively, they are on their heels every time the ball comes inside.
Jackson against Crawford. Jackson kicks to Harris. Drummond with a screen on Wiggins. Here's Harris. So he gets the whistle. Contact on the way up, and 2 shots coming up.
But Tobias Harris, now he's a player, he gives you a little bit of everything. He can spot up. If you put a bigger guy on him, he can take you down low and drag a small if you switch on to him. Love his game.
Leno Udrich, he's checked in for Langston Galloway. Hey, you talk about the matchup problems Harris can create, Chris. He has been viewed as a tweener in the past, but while that can be a problem for some, C-Web, it's a blessing, I think, for him.
Well, he's the type of player you want to throw into the game and not worry about what position it is. I mean, you just let this kid go. Tell him, hey, go do you. And that's what he's been doing.
Yeah, the chemistry has been terrific. Really impressed with their offensive execution.
Crawford against Jackson. Snatched up. Drummond. And the rejection by Towns.
And his foot movement is what makes Towns such a terrific shot blocker. He moves so well and can defend just about any position on the floor.
Crawford kicks to Butler. On the wing, Jamal Crawford. Guarded by Jackson. Towns is doubled. And there's the feed to Wiggins. It's Drummond with the rebound.
Yeah, good interior D there prevents the deuce.
Oh, wonderful anticipation. He reads the play perfectly. Then with the quick reaction time, he's giving them a nice lift this quarter. The shots are falling.
Outside Gibson. And it's Gibson finishing it off.
And a
A long windup and strong follow-through on the one-hand jam.
Yeah, he's not going to mess that one up. Lobbed up there for Drummond. Hammers the alley-oop through.
And when he gets himself into the right position, Drummond so powerful in terms of finishing at the rim. The only way to prevent that alley-oop is to keep him from getting to the launching pad in the first place.
Gibson the screen. Wiggins kicks to Crawford. Gibson passes to Towns. Over Lure. And good. Got the friendly bounce off the right side of the rim. 28 points for Karl Anthony Towns. Jackson against Crawford. Kicks it to Udrich. The Pistons working the ball around now. And Lure gets it to go.
He's making shots from that area, and the D is not respecting his range. They better respect it now.
Timberwolves leading by 15. Crawford kicks to Towns. Towns is doubled. Outside Butler. At the elbow, it's Wiggins. Towns at the elbow. Over Lure. Towns, no luck. For Detroit, they've gone 6 of 13, so just above 46% on their field goal attempts here in the quarter. Off his foot, and it's being called a kickball. Jones checked in for Jamal Crawford. Avery Bradley, he's checked in for Detroit. Ish Smith comes in for Reggie Jackson. Smith dishes to Drummond. No good that time. Towns with the defensive effort. Back to Wiggins. Plenty of space. And there are the Timberwolves with another bucket.
And every move he makes looks like the right one at this point.
Well, he's extremely accurate here, coming down the stretch, trying to see if he can close this one out.
Here's Harris. And it hung on the rim, but wouldn't fall for him. Kicks it out to Wiggins. Pass to Gibson. And stolen by Drummond. Bradley against Butler. Bradley passes to Smith. Shot clock at 6. And it's good off the back of the rim and in.
Consistency all game long. He's going to continue, I think, to have to take it over to get them back in the game.
Jones kicks to Gibson. Butler on the wing. Jones from outside. Rebound, Detroit. Drummond's got 13 rebounds in the game. Class eating. The dish to Lure. From deep, another 3 for Detroit.
He is really feeling it right now. I mean, this is his second 3 of the half.
Minnesota leading by 12. Pass to Towns. To the inside. Tries again. He takes it up and lays it in. Towns has got 8 points here in this quarter.
And they've gotten very aggressive on the offensive glass here in the second half, getting a lot of second chance points.
It's stolen by Jones. From downtown, the shot's good on the assist by Butler. Butler's got his 7th assist in the game.
Not shy from outside. There's no doubt about that. Spreading the floor and getting them up.
Here's the screen. Smith against Jones. From 10 feet out, and good, and it takes a nice bounce off the right iron and down.
He's been a different guy here in the second half. His shooting percentage far better than it was before the break.
Towns kicks to Gibson. Over Drummond. Towns dishes to Gibson. Kicks it out to Wiggins. He kicks it to Jones. He dishes it to Gibson. Clock at 6. Butler in the corner. No good on the triple. Pistons trail by 15. Smith kicks to Bradley. No good on the shot. And Minnesota will come the other way. Earlier in the game, they had a 19-point lead. outside Gibson. Dishes it to Jones. Wiggins passes to Gibson. Feeds it to Towns. And it's Gibson finishing it off.
And now they are probably too far ahead. It's going to be nearly impossible to get back in this one.
That's why you can't let yourself get in this deep a hole. Very little time now to climb out.
Gibson against Lure. From the stripe, and again, Andre Drummond. Drummond's got 18 points now here in the second half.
Drummond is just blossoming right in front of our eyes. Love seeing him sink the mid-range James.
Here's Gibson. The shot misses. Good D by Drummond. Pistons trailed by 15.
And so just rolling to the finish line now in what has been a very confident-looking performance for the Timberwolves.
Look at their number of assists.
You know, they didn't get stuck in those one-on-one situations, and they got the ball to the guys with the best matchups. Easy drives, open jumpers, and great ball movement.
And for the year now, they'll be tallying their 16th win.
Really, they had their number this season. 2 wins, a home win, and an away win.
And we watched one guy all night long, guys, and looking at the stats just confirms what a dominant game he had. What a night tonight it was for Karl Anthony Towns.
He showed what it takes to be a great rebounder tonight. Fighting for position, boxing out, never getting outworked down low.
And looking at Towns and what he can do on the floor already at his age is impressive. This is a guy who's going to be a 20-10 player perhaps for the rest of his career. And as young as he is, I tell you, the sky is the limit.
We've got a moment for our Jordan Player of the Game, Karl Anthony Towns.
And Kevin, it's a no-brainer. He's controlled every aspect of this game, and it's just so fun to see a player perform at a level that's just higher than anyone else out on the floor.
He sure has given this crowd a treat tonight. This kind of performance only cements his status as a fan favorite. Whole new look on the floor for Minnesota. Johnson the screen, and Udrich kicks to Galloway. There's a minute left here in the fourth quarter. It's good. And when you look at the second year for Towns, it's comparable to other great big men in the history of the NBA. And Greg, I'm talking about players in the top 50 of all time.
Yeah, I mean, just on the sophomore season stats, he looks like he projects to be one of the all-time greats. Comparable numbers to some of the best who have ever played it. Think of these names: Hakeem, Duncan, Ewing, and the Admiral. Maybe we'll be saying Karl Anthony Towns as well.
So it's the Timberwolves now. They lead by 11. Crawford with the ball. Brooks outside. Back to Crawford. Off target from three-point range. Here's Udrich. Brooks covering. Tolliver kicks to Udrich. In the corner, it's Galloway. And a miss there on the triple. Jang. No good there. So it's Minnesota winning this one easy. A confident win, and one where they clearly showed the greater effort.
Yeah, I mean, it was a solid performance, particularly here at home. And I think they built off that edge of being here and play with just a little more confidence than their opponent.
And that'll do it, folks. For Greg Anthony, Chris Webber, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan. Thanks for watching the NBA, presented by